Ramble.
Thank you to ZocDoc for sponsoring today's episode.
No. Welcome to Guilty Pleasures.
Yeah.
Roll out.
Autobots, roll into me.
Roll into me.
Vroom, vroom,
Cheeks,
motherfucker.
baby.
Welcome to Guilty Pleasures. Today we're talking about
Let's
the
fucking go.
Michael
Oh my
Bay classique.
God.
Classique.
Transformers, and joining us in the studio, you
Oh my
got
God.
Kelsey and Garrick, of course, but we got
Yeah.
Jack Courage Dunlap,
Wow.
the man,
What
the
a
myth,
name.
the
Is
legend.
that your real
Guys.
name?
Jack Courage Dunlop. Yep. That's it.
Wow.
Amazing.
Unfortunately, no affiliation to the tires or golf balls, or else I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, you'd be
yeah.
fucking bitches
Way too
in
rich
Miami.
at all.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Maybe one day.
You actually, so Jack, streamer extraordinaire, 100 Thieves, bad boy. You probably talk more
Hold
than
on, bad boy?
bad boy.
No, he's a bad boy.
How bad are we talking?
Yeah. Whoa. Don't
Okay.
don't fucking do
Showing
this.
up late to the podcast, bad. Get it.
Dirty laundry
Don't fucking.
aired.
No. None of
This
this.
is the same skirt I wore
It's been 1
yesterday.
minute. We've only been here for 1 minute.
Yeah, we're starting out with fighting energy, everybody, just to let you know this one's going to be a saucy one.
Yeah, Kelsey came late, which has never happened.
ever.
Never
2
happened.
minutes late.
2 minutes late.
2
Ever.
minutes.
Yeah.
And then she immediately asked Garrick why he's dressed so beautifully.
Yeah. So.
I don't think I
good.
said so beautifully.
Thank you.
I've seen better outfits.
Wow.
From you.
Wow.
From you, I've
What
seen better
the
outfits.
fuck?
Kelsey
All
just
right.
texted me.
She just texted you. She just texted you. I've seen better outfits on
We
Garrick.
started the show and Kelsey just responded to a text 10 seconds ago to me.
Yeah.
We're in the show now. We're
I
in
wanted
the show.
you to know that I think you're a ding dong.
I said, you ding dong.
I said you ding dong because he called. Oh my God! What a chaotic!
What is
this
happening?
This is chaos. My tattoo. This is chaos. This is chaos.
Yeah.
We need a fresh start. Does anyone have some cocaine or some water?
Why would that make it a fresh start?
I'll feel better. I'll feel better.
God.
Not a sponsor.
Okay.
What did you respond the text?
Because he called me like, "Where are you? Are you here yet? You dumb cunt!" And I was like,
Excuse me. I absolutely did not say that.
Jack, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you, guys.
Yeah, I
and
love
we
it.
do have to let you go. That's all the time we have for this.
That's it.
"Yeah,
Thank
this
you
is a
so
bad
much for
one. This is a
coming
bad
in.
one."
All the time we have for this week. Guys, rev your fucking engines up.
boom,
Transform your innards and flip me inside out. Because today we're talking about Transformers. We're talking about the OG, the original, the first Transformers, the Michael Bay classique.
Yes.
There's a new Transformers coming out, or it is out by the time this came
Rise
out.
of the Beasts.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Beast Wars. I'm going to
Yes.
guess. So I saw Jack. I knew I wanted to do this movie, and I do this thing to friends where I pay attention to social media, and I saw you tweet something about Transformers, and I said, bingo, bookmarking that one.
Yeah.
You love this franchise, yeah?
Well, look, I'm a big nerd.
Yeah. No. I mean.
And, growing up in middle school and high school, I never felt the love or affection of a woman. But I did
These two
feel
can
the love and
relate.
affection of Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
And man, oh man.
Peter Cullen, his
Yeah.
voice, baby.
He's still going.
He's still going. He's still got it.
He's like
Is he?
84, 82, and he's doing the new movie. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Was he the original voice?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always been the voice of Optimus Prime.
Oh, wait, like if you go back and watch the cartoon from the 80s, which is a devastating film, it's Optimus Prime's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like he just rolls in or whatever in whatever he's in. Like
He
in a
rolls
car. He rolls out. He probably rolls out in a fucking trailer in like the huge semi-truck trailer.
Yep.
And it's
Probably
just like
has
I'm
one,
gonna
right?
I'm gonna record from this thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna record from inside of Optimus Prime.
Ooh,
There is
that's
something-
made it hot.
Yeah.
There's something about the idea of Transformers that
Yeah.
just taps in to the little boy inside of us. Like,
Yeah.
it's perfect. It's vroom vroom cars that
Yes.
go choo 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 and become robots.
Listen, man, there's not you look at a car and you're like, wow, I love this thing. And then a car turns into a big ass fucking robot. I'm on 10, baby. This is the greatest franchise.
Wow, well, I hate to
Like-
be the vagina in the room, but I couldn't be less thrilled
Okay,
to
that's
this film. I'm gonna break it to you. This came out when I was in high school. It was
Yeah.
like what everyone wanted to go see. All the hot guys were going, and I went. And I remember being like, "Oh, no one wants to make out with me. I guess I got to watch this fucking movie." And then I remember just being like, this is too much metal.
Yeah.
It's too much metal
Yeah.
crashing
Not enough.
into other metal.
Not enough.
Vroom, vroom, and flip it inside, and flip it and reverse
Yeah.
it into metal.
This is, look, it's Michael Bay being peak Bay.
Yeah.
And Michael Bay is a filmmaker. It's something we'll get into. He he's a particular type of. He's a particular man.
Yeah, he is.
He's got a very specific look, and that look is big, it's loud, it's
Shiny.
explosive, it's shiny.
It's saturated.
Nolan, Bay.
No.
Yeah.
You
And not even a
shut
fourth.
your
Yeah.
On the
mouth.
Mount Rushmore,
Yeah.
Rushmore directors.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore.
Not even another
You're
person.
damn right he's over Tarantino.
Oh yeah.
The Coen brothers could never.
Yeah, absolutely
Enough room
not.
for him.
No
Yeah.
Country for Old Men didn't have any Autobots.
No,
Hey,
it didn't.
I mean, look, in this movie, and what I want to preface this by saying is the reason I'm so passionate about Transformers, and I don't know how far off script we want to go with this, but I have a lot to talk about, is I always just say, and I mean this, that Transformers as a franchise is just better than Star Wars. Far better.
God damn.
I didn't even. I've never even seen that.
Transformers 1 and Bumblebee are better movies than any Star Wars movie.
That is the
Do the synopsis. Please do the synopsis.
This man
so that we can get
chose
into it.
violence.
For
He
the love
walked
of
into
God.
this room and said, I am going
love
to
you.
gang
Yeah.
gang right along.
It's like, holy if Star Wars was good, I wouldn't need a damn pamphlet on what order to watch the movies in. It's like, well, don't watch this show. These two shows aren't good. Watch Rogue One before this, and then another Star Wars fans in the room, and they're like, excuse me, hold on. You cannot watch the prequels before the sequels.
Oh,
And
wow,
I'm
that's
like, what the
good.
hell is going on?
You should do voice work.
Thank you so much. I basically stole it from my friend Jordan, who would also be great to have on the show. But yeah, it
come
pisses
join
me
Jordan.
off. Sorry, I got off topic.
Well, I want to know before I even dive in before this movie, before we even talk about this movie, your love of Transformers as a kid. Because I remember watching the Beast Wars cartoon
Yeah.
on TV. It is I want you to just, if you've never seen it, Google to see what that CGI animation looks like.
Oh, God.
And
Mind
we
if
were
I do?
children watching Cartoon Network, like, this is the coolest shit ever. It makes no sense. They're robots that come to the dinosaur times and scan dinosaurs and say, we're going to blend in as dinosaurs. And so they're either
They blend in as animals.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
the bad guys are dinosaurs?
Oh, wow.
No,
This
like
looks
the in between. Yeah, no, wait, the T-Rex is bad as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
I just remember Optimus Prime as a gorilla.
This is like Street
Optimus
Fighter
Primal.
as like a desktop animated game. That's how bad the CGI is.
It's this one.
Yeah,
That
that's
is so good. Early 90s.
And I'm assuming that that's probably following what's going to happen in this new one that's coming out, or a similar one, Rise of the
Is
Beasts.
he not a gorilla?
Optimus
he is
in
a
that-
gorilla.
He is?
Optimus
In this-
Primal is his name.
No, they didn't.
Oh, he's going to be in this?
Yeah, he's in this one.
They really went, what if we called him Optimus Primal? Oh my God, we should do an animal one. We
Yeah.
should do one where they're kind of furry, but they got mechanicals underneath.
Do you know the backstory? I know I'll have it for fun facts, but I can't remember how Transformers came about. But I think it was. Do you know?
I have no idea. My favorite part of this right now is that I am not a Transformers expert.
No, you are. Today you are.
Today?
I just
you are.
absolutely
You are.
Isn't
think
it?
it's better than Star
Your
Wars.
passion makes you
Thank you.
an expert.
It's from the 80s and it was failed.
Yeah, it was the original thing created to sell toys.
Yeah.
I believe it was.
Yeah.
I think that Hasbro made it and then said, make a show.
About this
To
thing.
pump these numbers.
Pump these out.
And it wasn't a success.
It was always a
was-
success.
it
No, when it first started, it wasn't. I looked it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, that's the fact.
That's all you
when
got.
I
You
looked
Read
it
the
up.
first line.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
Because I thought
don't
the same
care
thing. I
about this
thought,
movie.
what crackhead thought of this? Like, what if a car
Oh, wait.
was
What
a person?
cokehead thought of this? What brilliant genius man on cocaine was like, what if the
course.
fucking cars turned into robots? Yeah. Now we have the greatest franchise of all time.
I will say the one thing that this gave me as a gift is little children whose parents made them the cardboard costumes of the
Thank
Transformers.
you.
Like, if
That's
nothing
beautiful.
else, we got little kids' costumes into cars.
Yeah.
I mean,
the little kid that was like laying
Yeah.
down and
Uh-huh.
yes, sit
those
up.
are
It's
the best
beautiful.
things ever.
Yeah, that was
And also a
mind-blowing.
childhood dream of mine.
Yeah.
Well,
I
there's
wish.
still time.
All right. Let me hit with the synopsis.
All right.
If you have not seen Transformers, don't worry, we got you covered. Transformers stars Shia LaBeouf as Sam Witwicky. He is a young lad looking for love in all the wrong places, and all he wants is a new car. But his car is a robot from outer space.
Hate it when that happens.
Turns out his grandpa discovered a big bad robot underneath Antarctica, and wouldn't you know it, the schematics are now etched into his glasses forever. Optimus Prime and the Autobots are here to save the Earth, but the Decepticons, they want to make it go bad, bye-bye. Along the way, we've got Josh Duhamel and our boy Tyrese.
Yes. Vroom, vroom, fast, beep, beep.
as soldiers in somewhere in the Middle East. You've got Megan Fox being mistreated by the director, and you've got lots of light flares and explosions. This is Transformers. Jack, when you think about we kind of separate this into pleasures and guilts. We really just talk about it. But when you think about the pleasures for this movie, where does your mind go? What's the first thing that you think about when you say, I love this film?
The cube, Sam. Stick it in my chest.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah. You really should be doing voiceover
Oh my
work.
God, stop.
Yeah,
keep going.
Optimus Prime,
They gotta find the Allspace.
Allspark.
No, Allspice. I actually used that in a recipe last week.
Talking
I think
about?
that's a furniture company.
Did you say they have to find the ice spice? Get out of here.
That would have been a way better movie. Stick the ice spice in my chest.
Get the ice spice in my chest. I'm a munch, Sam.
But low-key,
Sam, I'm a munch.
If you don't use allspice in your kitchen, you should really get some
Must eat my
allspice.
ass.
Eat my ass, Sam.
Sam, put the Allspark in my tailpipe
In my tailpipe.
and whisper to me while you do it.
Oh, my God. Well, sheesh.
What is the allspice about?
The Allspark
Allspark.
is what we love to call a MacGuffin. It's a block that if they get, bad guys make boom boom.
Yeah. Its energy can turn inanimate objects into Transformers. Is
Oh
basically
no!
what it is. Yeah.
They have a line about how like all technology has come from them discovering this in the 40s. So like the microchip was like all technology. But one of my favorite shots in the movie is the Allspark goes like sends out a blast, and there's a Mountain Dew machine that turns into a Decepticon. And so for a brief, beautiful moment, you have a Mountain Dew robot wreaking havoc on downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah, so it's for like,
Wow.
honestly, it's for 1 second. Sorry to cut you off.
No.
That happens a lot on this podcast.
Yeah, well, no, you want to like see more of it.
Yeah.
Or it'd be cool to see how that could be explored. But
Yeah.
it's like one gag scene where 3 things turn into Transformers and then they're never seen again.
I
And
wish
you
they
know what
had-
that is? Beautiful product placement.
I was gonna say,
Like,
I wish
truly,
they had a Burger King animated guy.
Yeah.
If he was a Transformers, he's hot. First
Yeah.
of all.
Oh, wait.
Second of all, the Burger King.
The King.
Oh,
The
yeah.
The
King
King.
is hot?
He fine.
I mean-
this movie's sponsored by Burger King.
The more I think about it, you are right.
kinda
Yeah,
hot.
He kind of
yeah.
sneaks around.
Did you ever play the Burger King games? There was Xbox
There's
games.
games.
You guys maybe should look them up one day. Sneak King, and there was a second one. If you like bought it was like $5 at Burger King.
Oh my god.
And they were from like 2005.
Oh my. We got to get our fingers on this.
Yeah, I mean, they were readily available. Maybe not anymore.
And he's hot in that game too.
Oh yeah, you like creep around and like jump in haystacks. It's like Assassin's Creed on a $3 budget. It's like it's
Jumping in haystacks is hot.
Got it.
But I mean, what's there not to like about the movie? There's great action. There's incredibly good actors. The best acting I've ever seen. Also, now that I think about it, now that you mention it, vroom vroom,
Beep,
horn
beep.
horn,
Yeah.
beep beep. Tyrese has been in a lot of car movies.
Yeah.
He loves
Holy
mechanics.
He loves the
He
car.
has a good agent.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he gets the bag.
Yeah, he does.
Did you ever-
I mean, he's the first, one of the few
And
actors,
only.
if not only, to be like, I have a beautiful voice and an amazing music career.
Yeah.
Jump me on over to fucking
Yeah.
car shit.
It's weird that more people might know him as an actor than a
That is
musician.
kind of wild.
Yeah.
Oh,
'cause our
absolutely more
generation-
people know him as an
I
actor.
know him as an actor, so
He was,
Oh my
first of all, he was an
God.
MTV VJ.
Hot.
Back in the day, that's where he started.
Dream job.
So Carson Daly was obviously holding down TRL, but then
Yeah.
they had like their correspondents. Tyrese was one of them. Then he was like, hey, I'm going to bust out with my R&B solo. And we've talked about it in the Fast and Furious episodes. It's worth repeating. The music video for Lately is the greatest piece of cinematic work. It's Tyrese. First of all, the song is beautiful. It goes, lately, have I told you I loved you? But it's him shirtless with, I believe, leather pants, and he's down on his knees, back arched back, with
Zach
a
is
shower
trying to do
pouring
it.
down just on his crotch. And he is so horny.
Yeah,
he
it
is
is-
his dick is on fire
Yeah.
for
Oh,
you.
wow.
It
And
is-
he needs to cool down, not his body,
I need to cool
just
down right now.
Just his dick.
Yeah. It is a recreation of the D'Angelo's Untitled video.
Yes.
Oh.
Like the vibe of it is.
You're looking for a doctor, you're asking your friends for a recommendation. What
would you ask people when looking for that recommendation? Look, I'm looking for someone who gets me, who listens, who's gonna make me feel comfortable, someone who has experience, someone with good reviews. ZocDoc helps you find those doctors, and you're gonna be able to book them with certainty that they have an appointment available and that they take your insurance. ZocDoc is a free app where you can find amazing doctors and book appointments online. We're talking about booking appointments with thousands of top-rated, patient-reviewed doctors and specialists. You can filter specifically for ones who take your insurance, are located near you, and treat almost any condition you're searching for. When I was going through my whole leg fiasco, I used ZocDoc. I needed to get someone fast. ZocDoc helped me get in to a doctor fast and easy. Go to ZocDoc.com/guilty and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/guilty. ZocDoc.com/guilty.
Hilarious.
Wait, so I have a question. You said Tyrese as a VJ and Burger King are both hot.
Yes.
Within 1 minute.
Oh, yes.
So right now,
I'm a very-
each of them are hanging off a cliff, and you can only save one.
Oh, no.
Do you save the king, or do you save the king of the cars?
Tyrese every single day
Oh, no.
because
So
the
it's not,
king.
the bit doesn't go that far.
No, it does because here's the thing: the king looks like he could be a little problematic. Am I right? Like he could be a character in a Game of Thrones type that we like love to hate, but we're like, we just can't stop, even though he's like murdering children and like the unfortunate
Hate
people.
when that happens.
But Tyrese has done no wrong. He can't.
You're right.
We don't know yet.
You're so right.
Okay. Well, yeah. Don't clip that out and save it for anything, internet.
So with this new Transformers film coming out, this is the second one. Michael Bay's not directing, and I feel like I've seen now conversation of people turning on Michael Bay. I saw one say like, "Oh, finally, we're gonna have a Transformers movie with coherent action." Oh. And I will not stand for it.
When this one came out, everybody was losing their fucking minds. They were like, yo, these robots look kind of real. This is weird. And everything you couldn't follow a lot of like the action scenes, sure, but you wouldn't be able to follow them if you were watching it. Like if you were there seeing these giant robots that you can barely see above fighting each other.
That's not why I'm watching a movie. I'm not watching a movie to be like squinting at the screen, being like, what collage of metal is happening right now. It was a little bit incoherent.
They're fighting.
Yeah, I mean that's something that's been.
They're fucking fighting. What
I'm just
what more do you
saying.
need?
That's not why I go to the theater. I want
Ironhide shot the ground and did a flip over a human being and then shot the shit out of a Decepticon. That's the best scene
Ironhide
of the
is so
fucking movie. He's
badass.
so sick.
that language you just spoke.
Okay.
Bless you. I don't know what you just said.
Here's the thing that I genuinely believe is I think that Michael Bay love his movies or hate his movies.
Yeah.
And I don't care what side you're on.
Yeah.
I think that he is one of the truest auteurs working in American cinema. I think he has one of the most unique and recognizable directorial hands. His style is often imitated and seldom replicated. You mentioned Christopher Nolan earlier. I think that Michael Bay eats his lunch when it comes to large-scale action.
Yeah.
There are a lot of directors who have attempted to do the world is going to end stakes action because of the success of Michael Bay films, and I don't think that anyone has come close.
Fuck yes.
And so when you look, and now that's not to say that you need to like his movies, but like you look at the way that he films giant fights on a highway, or you look at even the stakes at the end of this movie is if we don't get the Allspark, the world is going to end.
Yeah.
And that is the arena in which we're playing. And now look at a movie like The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
I think that that's somewhat like Nolan is trying to do Bay and can't. I think Nolan's a much better director.
Garrick is clapping, guys.
Yeah, fuck it. I want everybody to listen to that speech with Metro Boomin superhero in the background. I want everybody to get hyped by that fucking that thesis on true action. It's fucking it's real.
He is as good as it fucking gets. The way that he uses explosions and can direct at that scale, it is a paintbrush. It is a building size paintbrush that no one else can
You
wield.
know why I think it works? Like what I will give a huge pleasure to in this movie is the relationships that he represents. So you've got these, you've got the hackers, you've got the army, you've got Bumblebee and Shia LaBeouf. They all have like their different reasons for being alive, and you have this grand scale of saving the world, but the relatability is almost in the personal details, right? You have the soldier that has the friends that they're all there fighting for their country. He's got the wife back home with the baby.
Yeah,
you got Shia LaBeouf, nerd. You got hacker. That relationship. I think he gives time. Yes, it's a 2.5 hour movie. Yeah. Yes, it's a 25-minute end fight scene, but he gives time to each of those moments to remind you of why we're here, why everybody likes this type of
I think it's a really cool funnel that he does where he starts everybody and every character off out on their own in the world or whatever, and then all of them slowly come together into this like one point at the end in the third act when they actually
it's
like
the
fight
entire
in the streets.
third act.
I love it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, if you look at like the auteur theory, which I think most people know or have a passing understanding of, but it was originated in French cinema with the French New Wave. It's this idea that the director is the ultimate author of cinema. And so it's not the writer, it's not the cinematographer, it's not the actor, it is the filmmaker that is holding the pen of authoring a movie. Now, I have problems with that theory, but I think when it comes to Michael Bay, it is correct. Because if you look at the way that he shoots, the way that he blocks, the way that he lights, the feel, the pacing, a Michael Bay movie is a thing not because of the plot, not because of the story. It's because of his touch, and the meaning that you get from the film comes from his decisions.
But I feel like what Michael Bay does is he comes at it in the place of like an animator where he storyboards first and then writes afterwards.
Yeah.
And so that's where with these new ones where they're just like, let's get the script done first and then shoot that, you get more of like small character moments and like a really, really nice in like you get the personality of the actual robots.
The scene in the movie where they're all in the back alley and like all the Autobots show up for the first time and Optimus fully transforms. They do the slow transform. Like that was totally like, all right, here's how I need them to be introduced, and then we'll figure it out after.
Absolutely.
Like put the smoke in the alleyway and bring them down. And
when Jazz is introduced,
oh dude,
it was just like okay. He just kind of is like everybody's doing their stuff, and it's just like, well, I know that this one, I want him to be black. What if he fucking, I don't know, he breakdances. Yeah, let's have him breakdance. Cool.
Is that the robot that introduces himself by saying, "What's cracking, little bitches"?
Still a fire-ass line. I don't care.
Gotta say, though, Megatron line when he kills Jazz, kind of fire, though.
What does he say?
I can't remember it actually, but it's something along the lines of like, how about two of you or something, and he rips him in half.
He says, "You want a piece of me?" He goes,
how about
two pieces of you.
And the fact that that's how like that whole like that was like in the middle or to set the stage of Megatron for me, I was like, again, go back to the success of Michael Bay too, and I think this goes back to the greater issue at with me with movies right now with critics is Super Mario. I say Mario for Jersey, sorry.
No, it's fine.
That comes out. It's like a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes for critics, 99% for audience. Yeah. Little Mermaid, just saw it last night, 50% critic score, 98% audience score. But I feel like this is another example of one of those movies where it's like, I'm not going in expecting an Oscar. No. Can we just, like, how come, and I guess that's the frustrating part, is that now I find audience scores infinitely more trustworthy. Yeah. And maybe when I was younger, I thought critics first, you know? Yeah. But when I go and like a movie like Tenet, which might be, I love Christopher Nolan, but that might be a 90+% critic score, but then like an 80 audience score because what the fuck happened in half the movie? You know, like I start to really resonate now more with the audience. And that's the same with this movie is you go in and as long as you keep your expectations low, you can enjoy the robots beating the shit out of each other. And the fact that like Shia LaBeouf is the same speed running as like a Decepticon. Like, sure.
Yeah, I will say he did good in this movie. Shia LaBeouf Let's
talk about him.
I think we should give him a moment because we all grew up with him on Even Stevens, and
which is one of. Look, sorry, go on.
No,
I grew up with him on fucking Transformers.
Oh,
so
excuse me, you didn't watch Even Stevens?
I barely did.
Even Stevens is one of the.
I watched for Topanga.
Even Stevens is one of the best comedic performances by a child actor.
Yes,
really?
He is so. He was so fucking gifted and then obviously became so wildly problematic. And it's hard. Like, I had to put on my glasses and be like, okay, I'm going to not think about what you did to FK Twigs. I'm not going to think about how you're you unraveled and have all these horrible allegations against you. In this moment, he was as good as it gets.
Yeah.
And you see that in this performance, which it was so funny. I remember being like, this isn't a heartthrob. This isn't like a guy.
He's a dork.
Yeah,
it's right down the middle of just
yes.
yeah, I can see how you get with Megan.
And he gives Megan Fox.
Michaela,
yeah.
Megan Fox at the end.
He gives these moments of like he's looking at her stomach, just like eyes wide, tongue furling, like, oh god, and he's going, oh my god.
Yeah.
And you get that brief moment of even Stevensness.
Him in this, most of the Transformers, he's overselling it. Honey Boy, Fury, he was fucking sensational in Fury. It's crazy.
Yeah, I watched a clip of John Bernthal talking about Shia in Fury, and at first he was like, "Is this guy for real?"
Yeah,
and then he realized that
he ripped a tooth out for that, right?
Yeah, and he didn't shower for 8 months.
Yeah,
and he realized that wait, this is gonna be my ride or die dude in this movie.
Yeah.
He was also as much of in there trying to be in that mindset.
Yeah.
So they found a lot of solace in each other, both being as deep as they were for that movie. So
did y'all watch him? Did you guys watch the Kid Cudi documentary on Amazon?
No.
He's in it and is good friends with him, and that made me kind of tilt my head a little.
He's one of those people. I mean, famously, Spielberg discovered him and was like, "This guy is going to be it." Yeah. And he has the vibe of one of those people who was born to act. All he can do is act, and it destroyed him.
Yeah,
and he became a bad person in the process.
But
this is truly what he is. That's what he does.
When you are embodying personality to personality to personality, one of those personalities is problematic, and you take on a lot of those aspects, and then you just put them onto other people, and they're just like, hey, you're doing a lot. You're doing too much here.
You know what I love about him in these movies, and it's the same on Even Stevens, is he's playing a neurotic old Jewish man in a young man's body.
Nailed it.
It's really the way that he, as a kid, is giving his introduction is giving a presentation to his class, and he's just trying to sell them junk. I love the charming scene of his dad driving him into the Porsche dealership. He's like, no, Dad, come on, you can't be serious. He's like, no, I'm not serious.
Yeah.
He
I'm
laughs
not
at him.
getting you a Porsche.
I love this kid.
I think too, what's great about it as well is there's a lot of coming of age type movies where they're a little bit too forced and heavy handed, and it's like I resonated as a teenage boy a lot with Shia LaBeouf in this movie of as you mentioned, Goo Goo Gaga, Megan Fox. And I know it's so simple, but at the same time, some of these coming of age films that you watch are so forced in what they're trying to push, or shy, especially nowadays, he need to be a certain way. And this is just he's this nerd that has no idea what's going on.
He's a guy trying to get his dick sucked.
Yeah, and you know what? Amen.
Yeah, amen.
Sometimes
amen
that
to
really
you, brother.
is
That's all you need for this movie. That's what I'm saying.
Of a
though.
teenage
Yeah.
boy's
That's all
problems.
you need for this movie is it just helps it.
So watching this movie, he sees her, and I'm like, dog, okay, you're shooting for the stars here.
Yeah.
This is crazy. You should lower your expectations.
Yeah.
Don't
You're talking
go
about Megan
after
Fox.
Megan Fox. You see Megan Fox, and you're just like, okay, well, you're doing a lot.
They
right?
don't even give her
And
a
then-
proper introduction. They just show a reverse shot of her, and the movie's
motorcycle.
you understand.
Yeah, you know.
You get it.
Yeah. You're seeing what we're all seeing. And then she has the infamous shot of her on the car, right?
Which is
her on the hood.
burned
and
into
closing.
everyone's
Everyone's
brain.
fucking mad.
Everyone
Give me the
knows
shot,
it.
Garrick.
So
Set it up.
Okay, so his car breaks down because Bumblebee is they need some time to kind of talk. So he breaks himself down. At this
What a
point,
homie.
Bumblebee has turned into the new Camaro, and it's very cool. And so he's just like, all right, well, I'm just going to be a wingman for this young boy.
Yeah.
Am I telling this correctly?
He's not the new Camaro yet.
Old Camaro.
Oh, he's the old Camaro.
He's rickety, broken down. He was
Yeah.
giving her a ride home.
Yeah,
and
he was
then-
giving her a ride home. It was the old Camaro. So he breaks himself down. And so she's like, well, I know how to fix cars. Pop the hood.
Pop
Which at that
the
moment,
hood.
Garrick is gone.
Garrick's hood popped at that moment because
When I tell you, I was like, I will find Megan Fox.
jean skirt,
Jean skirt. So she's
wide
in this jean skirt.
brown leather belt.
pops open the
toppity.
Pops open the fucking hood.
Slightly sweaty.
The most orange
They're always
scene
and
of
then,
all
and it's
time.
always a little dirty the whole movie.
Oh, yeah.
Orange halter top, and it's just like she opens the hood. The steam like blows into her face.
Lip
the
gloss
saturation is making her
popping.
eyes like pop like fucking
Crystals.
crazy. Very, very blue.
It's like when someone does an Instagram filter and drags it all the way to the right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just
Oh yeah.
everything
When he
is-
starts, I mean, I don't remember. I haven't seen this in years. And
The irises were
truly,
wide.
I
know all the
Picasso in that
Everyone
description.
knows that. I mean, that
To this
scene
day,
gave
it's still-
every girl in like the history of the world
Truly.
hope that maybe if I learn just enough about a car,
Yeah. But, I
I
mean,
can
she-
recreate this moment with someone.
She opens the hood, sees that the engine is like fucking crazy, and she's
Yeah.
like, I don't think you need any
wow,
help at
you have
all.
a double carburetor generator, boop bop.
But in that scene,
That was what I had.
in that scene, I'm looking at it and I'm like, dog, do anything you can for her. Like you
Yeah.
have to like die for this
You
person.
would, yeah.
Yeah. Like go for it. Don't listen to me. Don't settle. Go after her
Yeah,
because that's the best you're gonna do.
This is the Michael Bay school, and these are like there are very valid, despite my tirade against how much I love this man's filmography. Many very valid critiques against his work, and I would say the biggest is his very, let's say, reductive view of women.
Very reductive.
And
Gay hot buddies.
It works for this story, but it's also like she ain't got much to do.
Yeah.
He
the way
couldn't
Hey,
put-
she drove the shit out of Bumblebee.
She
Fair.
did.
Or he drove himself.
Oh,
No.
couldn't-
At the end, she drove.
what did he
Oh,
lose?
the
his-
truck.
on the truck. Yes. Yeah.
Michael Bay couldn't put a regular looking girl in a film if he was paid multiple
because
millions of
he
dollars.
replaces Megan Fox with
Rosy,
fucking
Hunting
That was-
That was an
Gaga.
interesting decision.
Yeah,
Do you guys
people
know
were
some
Well,
pissed.
of
just because it was a little bit odd.
Blondes and brunettes had never been more at odds in that moment.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll dip into our fun facts a little bit. Do you guys know or remember the backstory of this, of the controversy with Megan Fox?
No, I heard that
He
was
wanted
saying
more
that,
depth.
She basically came out and talked about how horrible of an experience it was, and saying that she would be asking, "What am I supposed to do in this scene?" And he would say, "Be hot."
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's really, it's
my
just like,
Lord.
and so she called him a dictator on set.
Yeah.
She called him Hitler.
Oh, that's right. Whoops.
That's
The
that's a
tabloids
comparison.
went against her
Can
and
you
said,
call someone Hitler?
I don't know. That's
well,
a bad
look,
comparison.
the as is tradition, the tabloids went against
Go
her.
imagine.
The woman.
Yeah, so they sided against her. She was dropped from the next movie. She said, "No, I just decided I didn't want to do it." Blah blah blah. It hurt her career for many years. There's also stories that saying that Spielberg didn't want her in because she dared to evoke Hitler's name. It's a whole fucking mess. Wow. But suffice to say, our girl Megan did not have a good time
She had
shooting
no
this
No,
movie.
she did not. And I do feel bad that she is forever tied with the movie because of how great she looked in the movie, which is kind of sad.
Yeah. But like you said, you kind of have to suspend. You're going in, seeing the entire movie really is seen from the point of view of a teenage boy, like a kid in high school.
This is the male gaziest of male gaze films
from the
that have
car
ever existed.
to the relationships, like everything is really seen from a pretty juvenile perspective.
You watch
down to the hype speeches.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Optimus has like 4 monologues.
He does.
My favorite tweet is when everybody was just like, who gives the better speeches, Captain America or Optimus Prime? And then the quote tweet is just like, Optimus Prime rode a fucking triceratops into battle and like convinced humanity to fight against a globe or some shit
So
like that.
soulful.
It's off. It's
I really do know all the details of this movie and those 4 monologues from the ride Transformers. When I had to think about it, I really didn't really remember shit about shit with Optimus Prime, even as a character, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, this guy's so sultry, so soulful.
I just love how that whole series it's like doesn't matter where it ends off with the storyline. The H1 is like, all right, just call for backup at the end.
Yeah.
The movie
It's a
ends
monologue.
Autobots.
Yeah.
And the first one, seeking refuge amongst the stars.
Right,
we are here.
Right.
We are here.
We are waiting.
We will be protecting.
And to the second one, Autobots.
Yeah.
If you're still out there.
For the love of God, come on over.
We really need help.
There's a threat. We need
We're
more
going to do
Autobots.
3 more of these because we
You know
really
what?
need
Okay,
it.
I thought Kelsey asked me how many of these there were, and I'm like, I think there was like 3 Michael Bay ones. There were 5
Yeah.
Michael Bay
God.
movies. Then Bumblebee, then Beast Wars.
And the best part about it is if you actually go look at the ratings, they just progressively go down.
I got a bladder infection at 3.
Oh,
That was the long one, right?
That can't be the movie's fault.
That was the really long one, right?
It is the movie's fault because it was so compelling.
It
You
was
had to sit in your seat.
It was so long, and that was when I was still drinking.
Was that the writer's strike one?
Maybe
might
that
have
feels
been.
right.
Revenge of the Fallen,
And
I
I
believe,
waited
is the
so
writer's
long in the movie theater to pee, and I had drank like a bottle of wine in the theaters at the Universal theaters that I got a kidney infection.
How are the Autobots going to get out of this mess? I got to stick around.
That's hilarious.
They got to give me a gas line.
They're
Pee on my
They're
tailpipe.
gonna turn huge. Like that's all that always happens.
I have just a bunch of observations from the movie that made me laugh. First is the opening frame of this film made me burst out laughing because it's the DreamWorks logo. And when the little fishing pole makes a ripple in the pond, it's the Autobot sound.
They kept the original transforming sound from the cartoon.
It is
that's
pretty
sick.
iconic, right?
Yeah, it is fucking iconic.
Yeah.
You've got Josh Duhamel in the desert,
God,
the
he's
good
hot.
all-American boy.
That is a white guy. That is just a white guy. You know what I mean?
And that's
He
all
kind
it
of-
takes to be
when
hot.
you
That's all it is.
When you
No,
need
it's-
the
he
white
is
guy,
just-
you get Josh Duhamel.
Yes.
Yeah.
To me, he's always not Timothy Olyphant because I love Timothy Olyphant so much, but I think he's better looking than
He
Timothy
plays
Olyphant.
right down the middle of a Republican and a liberal will go see his movie.
Yeah.
That is just a white
Have
guy.
you guys watched For All Mankind on Apple TV?
No.
Definitely
hear it's
recommend the
great.
show.
Yeah.
You need to watch it. But the main actor from that show always reminds me of Josh
Duhamel.
Duhamel. And
Duhamel.
my other side note is when I think of the desert scenes, is that when Tyrese goes, "Bring the rain" on the that shit still to this day. It's so sick. Like I'm telling you.
And it's just like
an AC-130 flies in. And
Yeah.
I'm like, at that same time, Modern Warfare 2 is out.
Oh, fuck yes.
So everyone's calling an AC-130s
Yeah.
and that. I'm like, this shit is fucking cool.
Yeah.
This, I mean, and this is peak Bay. The shot of them in the desert and this giant scorpion robot bursts from the sand as Tyrese is running, and it's in like super duper slow motion.
Yep.
That's as cool as a movie
That's
can ever
great.
get.
It's
Yeah.
great. I also think in the Bring the Rain scene, just like the hero shot and the zoom out of him like just on the walkie-talkie.
He's right there. I still see it to this day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bring the rain. So good.
Michael Bay seems to have a trend in this film of like, when in doubt, bring in funny black character. And you know what? It fucking works.
Yeah, I mean, to an unfortunate degree.
Yeah.
You got Bernie Mac in the
Yes.
first
Yes.
act.
Yeah.
Ultimate cheat code for a movie.
Yeah.
Bring in
Yep.
Bernie Mac.
Absolutely.
Then you get Anthony Anderson.
Yeah.
It fucking works. You have black coated Autobots. Fucking works. It's
Anthony Anderson was one seat in front of me on my flight to F1 Miami.
Oh,
And
sick.
I so badly
No,
wanted
wait.
to.
You realize this is F1 safe space.
Oh, really?
This is
I
you're
so
speaking our
badly
language.
wanted to
What the
tell him.
You just went?
I went. I got to go on the grid.
Oh my god!
I got to meet Tom Cruise.
Oh no, you're making Garrick not well. This is.
he's such a huge
just-
F1 fan.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, I don't want to get off topic here, but
But we do. We want to give It's a car. Vroom vroom beep beep. It's mechanics. It's metal. It's on topic.
You have a picture.
If
He has a
Optimus
he's bringing up a
Prime,
picture.
if Optimus Prime were to be one of the F1 cars, what?
we had Daniel on our podcast.
Let me see. You had Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, on our
Oh my
podcast,
God.
and then
Some bullshit.
how about this? This is DJ Khaled on the grid, and then I know Lando. Lando is a good
Lando
friend through
Morris
gaming,
in the P1 position.
and then Tom Cruise.
Wow. Short as he
cool.
looks in real life.
Yeah,
Huh.
it was quite a trip.
Wow.
God damn.
So you sat next to Anthony Anderson.
Yeah, he was one seat in front of me, and I wanted to.
So you were in first class. You make money.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah.
I do okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah,
I don't
Jack
know
does
much about
okay.
streaming.
Thanks,
Yeah.
YouTube gaming.
Sorry, I know nothing about gaming.
No, so yeah, so I sat behind him and I wanted to tell him about Transformers, but then I twist out.
Do you think anyone has ever stopped Anthony Anderson to talk about Transformers?
You
I hope
so
so.
silly.
I hope so. His character was awesome.
Hacker bro.
Yeah. And with the Tyrese and Josh Duhamel war scene in the beginning, it just like that was pre any of the Transformers being introduced in the movie, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
We begin the movie with them.
It's 10 minutes, no Transformers.
It's even. I thought it was like longer than that.
No, you're right. It's like 12.
It's like I thought it was
15.
I thought there wasn't a Transformer in the movie till like the first like 30 minutes.
We see a
is-
Decepticon in the beginning in the opening scene.
Yeah.
There is like a helicopter bad guy.
But like when Shia, are you username Ladies Man 217?
That's
scene,
the first time.
That's like 20, 30 minutes in.
Yeah,
You're
correct.
right.
It's far into the movie.
When I watched the first 10 minutes of this, I double checked. I went, is this the right one? Am I watching the right one? Because you start off with a 10-minute war movie.
Well, I think it's actually helps it that you
don't know that it's about.
Yeah.
I like that you get just introduced to. I think it helps add to what Shia is, where it's like you see the goofiness of the parents, you see the goofiness of him, the struggle he's going through. It just doesn't get right into Transformers are the first character. It's like the people are set up first.
Yeah.
And then you can feel the impact of when they roll in.
I think that's also why this one is the best out of all of them, is because you get that gorgeous. And this back in 2007, this was 2.5 hours. That was crazy back then.
And this is also why. Have you seen Bumblebee?
No.
So that's also why
great.
I think Bumblebee is, if not as good or better than this one,
I
because
think it might be
it's
better.
very similar in that where it takes a while for the Transformers to meet the main character. And
Shout out to Academy Award nominee Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah.
I'm going to meet her
love you.
tonight.
What are you talking about?
I'm going to I literally leave this and go right to the Spider-Verse premiere.
Oh, you and Garrick are going to be the best of friends
Sorry.
Are you out of your fucking
of all
minds?
time.
That's why that's why I had to move this up an hour because through Fortnite they invited me to go. So I'm
Where the
excited.
fuck? You need a +1?
Yeah, if he does, he's
bring my
taking
friend
Garrick.
Cole and bring my friend Cole.
Cole's sick all of a sudden.
Cole
Garrick
don't mean nothing to
is
you.
really free.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kill Cole.
You know what? You guys can fight. That'd be a good fight.
Fuck, I'll lose.
No, I'm hyped about it. I'm hyped.
No, it's gonna be
Oh, of
sick,
course, it's going to
man.
be... Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
it's gonna be
Apparently,
incredible.
people have said that they think it's gonna be movie of the year. Like the people that watch it already, they think it's gonna beat out anything else that comes out.
When's
That's
it
how
out
good it is.
this weekend?
Yeah.
Comes out this
Oh, should
Thursday,
we
and
go
it's
see
the
it?
longest.
We'll all find
Okay,
about it.
okay.
It's the longest
Animated movie ever, right?
animated movie by a major studio, 2.5 hours,
Wow.
because they just went for it, which I think will be good. But sorry, we're getting off topic.
That's this podcast.
I have a lengthy but hopefully fun theory
'Kay.
that I think that this movie is one of the best encapsulations of where America was post 9/11.
Here we go. Miles, get your editing tools ready. We're about to get a rant.
I just saw him hit end record.
Miles goes and cut.
Cut over a little bit.
I think that Michael Bay shows it's a very specific jingoistic, nationalistic worldview that America had post 9/11, where you look at us, you look at the opening of this movie, you have this good old American boy, this innocent, beautiful Josh Duhamel saying hi to his family back home. They're there in the desert. I don't even think it tells us where we are. We know we're in the Middle East. This is when the U.S. is in Afghanistan and Iraq. And they are not there as the perpetrators of evil. They are fighting some evil force from space, and they are there to save the good, innocent people. Then we have, the way that we model them, they are these underman mercenaries on the ground. They're always being outshadowed, but they're there to stand up. Then you have a speech by Optimus Prime, where he goes, "Freedom is the light of all sentient beings." He says that, basically
Someone has that tattooed. For
that
sure.
Americans are a young but beautiful people, and they're flawed, but their freedom is what makes them great. And there is a great threat out there, and we must sacrifice everything to protect it.
This is a war propaganda film.
That is
Draft.
the post World
The army's
War
behind
II
this.
identity of America, is that we are great because we fight for freedom against them. Who are they? Don't worry about it. We're gonna fight them.
If you close your eyes and listen to only half of that, it kind of sounds like the first Iron Man as well.
100%.
Like Iron Man, which came out around that time too. So I think they all
Yeah,
kinda still fit under that.
Everybody was fighting against a foreign legion in a cave.
So we're in a desert. That's like how it starts.
And then if you bring back the auteur theory, it goes into the way that he shoots it. I mean, look, automobiles are one of the great American inventions, right? And the way that he shoots it is glamorizing it. The way that we glamorize just the great all-American. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's all sponsored by GMC, too,
yeah,
right? So
it's all American cars.
There you go.
Cars as well. And then that's other side note, too, that the Camaro, I would love to know how much
they paid.
Well,
they paid, and then how much it helped the sales.
Oh, I want to hear from our resident
they
car expert,
launched
Garrick.
it. They launched the
this?
Camaro with this movie, and it like fucking everybody wanted that Camaro after it.
How does this do up against like a Fast or
It's
a car
Fast and
series
Furious
movie?
is by far the more
best.
influential car launching device, I guess, because you still can't get an RX-7 for under $40,000. That is a 25-year-old car, and you cannot get. It's the same thing with the Skyline that just came out. I mean, they didn't just come out.
The Camaro doesn't have the lasting legacy.
Doesn't have the lasting legacy.
Dom Toretto's
But
car.
how did they do? How did they do?
Camaro.
As like, were you jerking it to the cars in this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just wondering because I was like, "Damn, that yellow car looks nice." Even I was
cool.
like,
very cool,
kind of taken aback by it.
It's damn near a fucking car commercial for GM.
It is.
You know, everybody was rolling around with like Yukon Denali's.
Well, that's like with Top Gun. They mentioned that Top Gun paid like $4 million for the original one to use military planes in it, and then the military was like, "Okay, cool," and then it became the greatest military recruiting thing of all time, and they were like, "We got paid to make the greatest advertisement of all time," and F1. Netflix paid F1 to do the documentary.
Yeah.
And then it became
it's
the greatest marketing tool of all time that F1's net worth from like 2018 to 2019 or 2019 to 2020 went from 8 billion to 13 billion because of the documentary. This to me is another one too, where it's just like
for
GM.
That's
a freebie.
We'll
absolutely. Take that any day of the week.
Capitalism.
Yeah.
There's one other small detail that really makes me laugh, but I think is very telling in Michael Bay's worldview. So he wanted to set the final climax at the Hoover Dam, probably because that's cool. But they have a throwaway line where the Autobot Decepticon research began under President Hoover. And they do that at the Hoover Dam. J. Edgar Hoover is notoriously one of the worst presidents that America has ever had. What is he famous for? The recession. The Great Recession is largely blamed for him not being good enough to stand up for it. They used to call them Hoovervilles. That was the nickname for where people who were affected by the Great Recession used to live. And one of his lasting legacies is not authorizing relief programs and stimuluses for lower income people. And so you take all that together and you just get this really shiny worldview of American exceptionalism that glosses over everyone in need. And then you also have this myth within the movie that all great technology of the last 80 years came from America because of our secret government funding and financing. And then even the choice of Anthony Anderson wearing a Redskins jersey, which is a racist jersey and also a legacy of the fact that we murdered our indigenous population, feels intentional. Thank you. I rest my case.
And cut.
Goddamn.
Got it, Miles?
Yeah.
Put it on TikTok.
I just started rolling again.
I just watched the big cars in the movie.
I watched them go boom, boom, crash, crash.
This is the same thing that happened when we watched Maverick. I was like, I just watched the Jets, man.
Oh, dude.
I was just fucking watching them whooshing
I'm just here to
around.
watch a robot pee on John Turturro.
He
John
is
Turturro.
so
I was literally about to bring him
good.
up. That's why when I watched Severance, I was like, when I see John Turturro, I'm like, dude, he's from Transformers. Which is probably incredibly offensive to his line of work.
Absolutely.
I think of Mr. Deeds, so not much better.
The only thing that broke me away from that was The Night Of. He is fucking phenomenal. He's fantastic. So it's just like
He's the Jesus.
He's an actor.
He's a
Big
treasure.
Lebowski.
Did you watch Severance?
Yeah.
Okay, thank God.
Oh yeah. Best finale of the past 5 years.
Oh, dude, I couldn't agree more.
One of the last things on my agenda is just I love Michael Bay's use of light. I think it's almost impressionistic in this movie, the way that the light glimmers at select moments. When Sam first rubs his hand over Bumblebee's steering wheel, there's a glimmer of light. it's not motivated.
No.
But it's how I feel.
Yes.
And he does that throughout the movie.
Oh, when he unveils like the Autobot crest,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
horn, yeah.
I'm also just such a sucker for this cool blue at night
Yes.
look of the late 2000s.
The blues
Super
and
8
orange.
did it.
Yeah. Like you're truly the most complimentary of colors.
Is this the one too where the fight's happening on the highway and the kid in the car like looks up at the two of them fighting? He's like,
Whoa.
like even those little shots too.
Yeah.
Slices through the bus.
Yeah.
And then the little girl for the Tooth Fairy when the Autobot
So
is in her
good.
backyard.
And that's also another well lit like little scene there.
Yes.
Or when and I mean it's every movie, but it will never get old when Optimus Prime shows up fashionably late.
Yeah.
Oh, it's happened in every single one.
He's always a rush to. He's their big gun, so he's a rush to get there.
It just doesn't matter. I don't care how old I am.
Yeah,
I don't care how many times I've seen it.
yeah.
You're expecting
It's like
it.
it's like
Doesn't
when
matter.
people watch a Marvel movie and you're like, you know it's gonna end happy. It's like you know Optimus is gonna show up late. And when he drives through and like busts through the 3 trash cans,
Yeah.
and he's like,
Yeah.
you're like, let's go.
Like the fucking Kool-Aid Man all
it's
the
the
time.
best
Just,
shit
"Oh,
ever."
beer."
But he busts through and then fucking transforms on the go and tackles oh boy. Like that's what
Yeah.
you want. That's
Right.
what you
Oh,
need.
it
Are
is.
all
Pulls the blade out.
Transformers
Yeah.
on wheels? Do they all have wheel feet?
They're plain ones.
The
They're
Decepticons
planes.
can fly.
Yeah.
That was always the thing that I think also helped it. Which I don't know enough about Transformers, but I think what also kind of helped with the feeling of like Decepticons are big and bad is like all the Autobots are just cars, and then Starscream's like an F-16.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
Some of them are like literal battle tanks.
Autobots.
And
Auto only.
so exactly.
Yeah,
So I think
Devastator is a fucking
that one
bulldozer.
In the second, well,
yeah.
whatever the one is in the second or third one where it's like the biggest Transformer ever. It's
crane.
like
Yeah.
But there's that one scene I forget which Transformer. Maybe it's even this one. And it was when Optimus like jumps up and jumps onto Starscream or whoever when they're flying as the jet and like rides with them. Like so it just
You're
adds
right.
to it.
They do need an advantage because at some point I was like, I really don't know who the bad guy is and who the good guy is because again, I don't know what. Maybe I'm just sensitive to heavy metals.
Yeah.
But like truly, I could not fucking tell who was good guy, who was bad guy. I saw yellow and I was like, Bumblebee. I know that's him. But they were all spiky. They were all sharp edged. They were all rectangular.
Yeah.
But you're right. They do need a way to differentiate them because I was like, how do I know one is good and one is bad? Those guys have the advantage of flying.
Yeah, there's the helicopter one. I think it's the second movie. Optimus gets the ability to fly at the end for a moment because the old one dies and they're like at the pyramid and they have like the rail guns shooting them. Remember that?
Yeah, and he can like there's some kind of fusing technique that they can do.
That's the other thing is like, damn, their technology is cray-cray.
Yeah, it is.
Can you tell me about the cut to credits? Because that moment makes me so unbelievably
That
hype.
shit
I
makes
can't
me
contain myself.
fucking wet, baby. All right, so now as we were pointing out, we're ending the fight. We're ending on Optimus Prime just launching into his greatest speech of the movie. He is sending out his beacon of hope to all the Autobots out there across the stars. He's saying like, "Hey, humans are messy, but we love them. We love their freedom, and so on and so forth." And then you hear the swell of "What I've Done" by Linkin Park.
I forgot.
Oh my God!
Am I crazy in saying that I think it's a top 10 movie speech of all time?
Whoa!
You're not crazy
Like
at all.
at this point, I think it's like a top 10 movies, and it could be 10th.
Yeah.
I think it is. Might
I
be.
think you know what?
Credits. Credits.
And like that's when
my
like think of being
God.
back in the theater. Think of being
Yeah.
back in the theater
Yeah.
when like the lights begin to turn back on and everyone's like that movie ends. And what year to come out? 2007 or something.
Yeah.
And you just like look at each other. You're like, dude, that shit was fucking
That
sick.
fucking rips.
Yeah.
And
You were ready to watch the part 2 right away.
You're
Yeah.
ready to watch it again.
Yeah.
Like I
Yes.
wanted to go outside and wait outside for the next screening.
Yeah.
And then come back in and watch that movie all over again.
It is true. It did get you hype. And again, going back to 2007 when we had not had really CGI like this yet. We had not really
It was
seen.
awe-inspiring.
It was
You have to remember this is also, and I also think it might be a little bit tough too because the Marvel movies came along and I think did a lot of what this movie did, but better in every capacity, or better than what obviously the follow-ups of this movie did. But when you go back that time, pre-Marvel and pre all this, when you look at like what was out there, it actually was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Like in that day, that era,
because they were trying.
Yeah.
They were trying. I think they weren't trying to pump out a shit ton of material. Like I feel like the gap in between this Transformers and the sequel was like a good amount of years, plus 3 years.
I think so.
I mean, I could be mistaken, but
and let's also say too, Megatron is a badass villain.
Scary.
Oh my God.
He's a sick ass villain. The fact that
Agent fucking Smith as the voice.
The fact that he's
Are you out of your mind?
I didn't put that together.
Yeah.
Even in the ride, he's scary.
Yeah.
But then the fact so spiky.
Like,
yeah, it is.
I got to give them credit. I thought it was badass that the movie ends with them. They like with the military, like whoever it was, the leader of the Department of Defense or whatever, is talking about how we dropped him at the Mariana Trench, the deepest.
John Boyd, I think.
Yeah, or whoever it was, at the deepest place on Earth. And then I love how in the future movie they dig him back up. Yeah, and they bring him back from that. Like I think that's pretty badass too.
Also, very impressive that we don't get the big bad until the final act of the movie.
Yeah.
Well, it adds to it because in this he's frozen, right?
Yeah.
And then he like begins to break out, like because they're like, you
The
can't have this here,
anticipation. It's literally
like,
waiting for the
fact that
ice to melt.
Well, I think it adds to it that he's just like there.
Yeah.
And you know. You're like, oh
Shit.
Yeah.
You know he's gonna get out of that ice.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it gives this feeling of like a ticking time bomb.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's also outside of Optimus, he's the biggest one that you've seen.
He's
Well, physically large.
The big thing,
boy.
the whole thing between Megatron and Optimus is that they're like of the same size. They're like of the same species on Cybertron or whatever. So they're like technically brothers or and all that stuff. So they came here at
They
around
are
the same.
brothers?
Technically. So like they're fighting each other because they're like a little related. It's kind of
brings it all.
I don't know the
makes
mythos
sense.
as deeply as
Okay.
as humanly possible, but
That's all right. We forgive you.
yeah, thank you so much. But yeah, they're the same size essentially,
Damn.
and so they're the only ones that can like.
It's also
actually
really
fight each other.
funny. I'm now thinking about it that like the cast of Jumanji reminds me a little bit of the cast of Transformers.
You're right. You're right. You're right. In
Jumanji, the
every
remake.
fucking force, because every
Dwayne The Rock
sense of that.
Johnson
Yeah.
as Optimus Prime. Kevin Hart, Bumblebee? Or is that Jack Black?
Ooh.
Who's the most likable?
Who's like this? Let's go to who's the support person? Like Ratchet. Ratchet's a support.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's Jack Black.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Jack Black. So Kevin Hart's Bumblebee.
Yeah.
And that makes sense because he's a little bit
Who's
funny,
Ironhide?
a little silly.
Karen Gillian.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you know what? There's enough of a crossover for me to say
Yeah,
it is.
I like to see it.
It's so good how
I want to see Transformers as like everything. So like Transformers as Jumanji characters, Transformers as puppies, Transformers as memes.
what I also
Pup Wars.
what I kind of like too is that each of them had like their own special thing that they excelled at.
Mm-hmm.
It was not just like each one just like shot big rockets. It was like, you know, you had your personality. You had Ratchet, who was like the medic type of healer type person.
the boy
You got-
wants to mate with the female.
Yeah, exactly. Like I loved Ratchet's character in that too. And then you got Optimus, who's just like he can handle shit. He's
He's a
clucks
grandpa.
up.
He's a guy.
This is a very small style thing, but I'm curious if anyone else noticed this because I've never seen it in a movie ever. Is there were at least 2 moments that I clocked where they had a joke that was emphasized with a trailer swell. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's so in a trailer, someone will say a line, and no, it was like cut out, and then someone replies.
Yeah.
They did that twice in this movie. They did a trailer technique to underscore a joke.
Because they're so
Did
big
Mike-
and grand and like the
Yeah.
stakes
It was a
are
Shia
so
LaBeouf
high.
line.
Did Michael Bay come from making trailers?
He
Like,
came from.
did he come from
he
like,
has a big
directing
commercial and music video directing
That makes
background,
sense.
but
No, he was born as a 40-year-old Transformers director.
trailers? Okay. Cool.
Feels like it.
There was also the scene in this too where they show the power of the cube. Wasn't it on someone's like Motorola Razr or
phone,
something?
yeah.
I thought that was a really good way to like immediately makes everyone resonate with it because everyone has a phone.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just a really smart way to set the stage of like, imagine if this was real.
Yeah.
You know, it goes back to that scene where sadly it was so little where the cube sparks out and like turns the vending machine on. It's again one of those moments where I think they just you mentioned it does a good job of just making you kind of have to put a piece to a piece and what's like have some sort of connection to what's a ridiculous idea.
Yeah.
Is like even the kid in the car watching Optimus like jump over him. And he's like,
Yeah, because none of the adults see. They do it every time where it's like the kids keep saying they're Transformers, but
Yeah.
somehow they've stayed out of sight until the end,
Yep.
which makes it even more like, oh my God, what if this is happening and we don't even know it?
yeah.
I think that's a pretty good segue into fun facts.
Fun
fact.
facts
Fun facts.
with Zax.
Because I saw one of them is that originally Michael Bay wanted an iPod for that demonstration of the All-Star.
Apple said
Apple
not
said
on
no.
our bill.
Steve
Our
Jobs
stuff
said
is always,
no.
All of our stuff is always good.
Yes.
The little whole thing on Apple's writer is that any good character or iPhones cannot be used by evil
villains.
characters.
By the villains.
By the villains.
Yep.
Is that
So
even in Succession, I wonder?
Tom uses an Android. I noticed that.
Damn. Don't they all use Androids?
I think they might.
Yeah,
They must.
They're all bad people.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I just know Tom had an Android. I
Yeah.
just saw that.
That's also very East Coast, though. East Coast elite. A lot of East Coast elite
Ew.
heads have like Androids rather than.
Really?
So the scene where I didn't know his name was Scorponic, that's the big scorpion, bursts out of the sand. They had an
Oh,
effect.
Scorponok, I think his name.
Scorponok.
Yeah, Scorponok.
Scorponic is a town in New Jersey. He burst out of the sand, and the effect was achieved by detonating a primer cord under the sand. So they had an actual explosion.
Okay.
Burst
And that
sand.
sounds,
So
that sounds
that's-
very Michael Bay, though.
Yeah, that's practical. Like it be as practical until it's impossible. Is what I feel like the thesis of this movie is, of the direction of this movie is.
So that was super fucking dangerous.
Oh.
And it was so dangerous to the actors that Bay told them, keep running no matter what happens, or you could get seriously injured or killed.
Oh,
and
word.
so as a result, the look of panic on the actor's face, it's real.
Nice.
That's always good.
Love it.
Love that.
The things that actors do, man. We just don't deserve them. They're so brave.
Realizing they probably had to do like 12
Yeah.
takes of that
Yeah.
every time.
Fuck.
I've small story. I met the camera team on for Transformers, and they are like a pirate crew of like big bearded, like strong men.
Of course,
And
right?
they also did The Revenant.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
they just are crazy.
They can withstand
They're
all
insane
weathers.
people.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
Weirdly
on
checks out.
on the idea of practical effects, Michael Bay spent a majority of the film's $150 million budget, which also $150 million. They achieved a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
holy
anyway.
shit.
how much did that movie gross in the end?
700
so
million?
He used most of it on 15 practical action sequences because he wanted to make sure that the VFX, which there were many, would be layered over live action elements and not overwhelm
You could
live
tell.
action.
You could tell.
I mean, this motherfucker's literally in the climax, the whole third act, is he's blowing up downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I know that street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is setting off sparks and explosions
Yeah.
in downtown
Yeah.
LA.
Yeah.
He's out of his mind.
Even the small scene where like Ironhide, who is the best Transformer, outside of Optimus, I'm sorry, kicks the car to like make a path for to like make cover. Like that is a full car being pulled into line with another car. Like you didn't even need to do that, but he did because he wanted to.
Well,
leave it as practical as
when you
possible.
mentioned that reminds me of all those like Reddit posts over the years that have come up that have been like Transformers is filming in my area. Take a look at this, and
Yeah.
every time it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
it's like Transformers has by far the most of those guerrilla videos, like just people just like
Oh, yeah.
film in their apartment, like
Transformers ruining my
filming down the
town.
block, and it's like cars flying
Right.
out of a parking garage,
Yeah.
and you're like,
500
cool.
years, like archaeologists are like, the Battle of Los Angeles. That was a Michael Bay shoot, actually.
Damn it. Yeah, you're actually incorrect.
did he also do the LA ambulance movie too?
Yeah.
it's like he's always got
He loves
loves
fucking up
downtown.
downtown LA.
He just want to leave. He's like,
Bad
"Can I
Boys?
I don't
Are you
wanna
kidding me?
travel much.
This rocks. Tyrese Gibson, the GOAT, he paid the filmmakers to get him a role in the film.
Oh my God, what a nerd.
I don't
So
know. I
that's
don't know.
where
I don't
he's-
have. It's just written here. There's no
What
source.
a
There's
nerd.
no
Not even an agent thing. Tyrese is doing
A
the work.
hustler.
He's doing the legwork. He's just like, no, I gotta get into these car
He
films.
knew it was going to be a banger, and he said, I will get in that.
God damn.
Was this one of his first big
No.
2007?
He had Look
up the year for Too
Fast and
Fast.
Furious was already out.
Okay, but Too Fast was a failed.
Yeah.
It was a failed franchise at that point.
Was it 2004? Was that first one?
2003 was too fast.
Garrick knows his shit. This makes no sense to me, but I adore it. Optimus Prime's body language and movements were modeled after Liam Neeson.
Great. Just seeing Optimus Prime
it.
hunt down black people.
I will
That,
find you.
oh my God.
I'm looking for a black bastard.
Oh my God. He is Liam Neeson as Metal.
Yeah.
Autobots, I have a specific set of skills.
Yeah.
I will find you. And then, according to Megan Fox, she met Linkin Park after a concert.
Whoa.
And they were like, yo, Megan, here you're doing a live-action Transformers movie. What if we had a song in the movie? And thus, What I've Done appears in the closing credits.
No
It's all Megan
way.
Fox.
Thank
She
you,
gave
Megan.
us Jennifer's
Salute.
body and Linkin Park and Transformers.
Salute to her.
Thank you, Megan.
She's
Megan
done her work.
So much. She
Megan,
made the
God bless you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she made the movie in more ways than one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, she did have a lasting impact on this film
Oh my
that we don't give her
God.
enough credit
Oh my
for.
God.
She's
They should be-
contributed more to cinema than most American directors.
Yeah.
What are the three most referenced moments in this movie? Is it the Megan Fox
Yes,
front of the car,
scene,
the speech?
the speech,
Speech at the end.
And I would say it's the supercut of Shia LaBeouf going, no, which is, I opened the podcast with
musical.
it. It's 90% of his dialogue, and it's
Yeah.
glorious.
All right, hey,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
It's fucking awesome. And I think that's all my facts.
Is it time?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it time?
I want to see. So now it's time for us to decide, is this movie a pleasure, a guilty pleasure, or just plain guilty? Really, this is your chance to tell people why they should or should not watch this film. Jack, the floor is yours.
Look at I don't know how to just listen. Life is filled with enough stress. Time passes, people come and go. But if there's one thing you need to realize is that movies are there to suspend reality. Do yourself a favor. Grab your favorite beverage, make some Trader Joe's skinny popcorn, and go ahead and fire up 2007's epic mega hit starring Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox, Transformers. Forget the problems you have. Forget about the strife in your life. Watch that movie and recognize that at times you can just have some damn fun.
Wow!
Let's fucking go.
Wow, I would
And
give
Star
you an
Wars
Oscar
is
just for that. Wow.
It is ass.
So is it a pleasure for you?
I will sometimes go on the hub and search Optimus Prime
No.
fucks up Decepticons. And that's enough to get me going.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
It's-
a strong P.
It's a big P.
Big P.
Pornhub has MILFs, Autobots, best friend's wife.
Dirty Decepticons get treated naughty by Optimus.
Getting drilled. Damn.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna bring it right up after how good that was because I want you to forget about what I'm gonna say. Is for me, it's gonna be a no, dog. It was the first one was it. I saw it one time. It made that impact on me. And truly, I never need to see such a shiny, orangey, crashy film ever again. And in fact, I went back and I listened. There's like 3 episodes of this podcast where I've like offhandedly made comments where I've been like, yeah, no, this was way too fucking long and the fight scenes were insane. Like somehow, but not as bad as Transformers. Like it's stuck in my
Yeah,
head.
she has Vietnam.
Yeah, like this like really affected me for some reason, and just like watching it again today, I came in a mood. I came in a mood, late and in a mood.
You did great, though.
Thank you.
great.
This movie is plain old guilty for me.
Wow.
God
You know?
damn.
I know. Someone there had to be one.
Oh my God, it's the biggest fee. I think this is a TNT classic, baby. Like if that is on television, I am watching it all the way
Okay.
through. It doesn't matter where it is in the film, as long as it is before the third act. I think that Ironhide is one of the greatest things that America has given us. I will drive the truck that he becomes, hoping that I get to be inside of Ironhide as close as I can be. I truly think that this movie had like an effect on me.
Yeah.
As far as whenever I was watching CGI movies, I was like, yeah, but this looks fake. Yeah, but this looks fake. Yeah, but this looks fake. And then I saw Transformers and I was like, oh, we're here. We're here where we can make all of these things, all of these dreams kind of come true in a degree that is believable. So yeah, no, it's a huge play.
And I actually think it still holds up pretty well.
It really,
does. Yeah.
it
Yeah,
really
talk about
fucking
that.
does.
Yeah.
It
there's
really
the
fucking
effects,
does.
the
I
animation,
think
all
it's
that.
honestly still at the top, and one of the few things that have gotten better or that have improved on that technology is like Avatar. You know, where it's just like, okay, so this is fully CGI, and I believe most of what I'm seeing.
It was a big leap forward in blockbuster filmmaking. Absolutely. For me, I think this is like the perfect guilty pleasures movie in that it is so pleasurably done. It is a blast to watch. And then there's so much about it that's just so funny and fun. It is the intense over-stylization to the point of self-parody, the ultimate 2000s US exceptionalism fantasy. You get like the insane portrayal of women. Like it's so egregious and it goes so far in everything that it does to the point that I forgive everything and I just have fun. It pushes everything full throttle all the way to the 10, all the way to an 11. It just, whatever it can do, it does the most of it. Yeah. And I love it for that.
Wow.
Jack, the next thing we do is My Pleasure. This is something in media that we are loving.
Could be a book, a podcast, a movie, a TV show you've watched recently that you would recommend.
And it's tough because we've really only been talking about Zelda, so we're trying to come up with anything else to recommend.
It's either Zelda or Succession.
Yeah.
Which was going to be hard not
Charlotte on Netflix.
I said that last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Slay. I've been loving it.
I really liked it too.
You guys,
you got to give it a chance because we did Bridgerton and we really just didn't have fun.
But I think it's this. It's just, again, just snuggle up.
Yep.
Huddle up, throw on some Queen Charlotte.
Yeah.
And I actually think that it's way better than the second season of Bridgerton.
Oh, yeah. And first.
Yeah. I think, it is actually, for me, I think it's the best of the three.
Yeah. Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good P.
Well, Secession may be over, but I've got your new Secession. It is Chimp Empire on Netflix, which is a 4-episode docuseries that's literally if Secession was a nature documentary about a chimpanzee colony.
I can't get over how you say secession.
Succession?
Thank you. Secession.
Secession is what Texas wants to do, I think.
Yeah, you're right. You are correct. Yeah. Succession. It is the footage that they have of this chimpanzee colony, the Ngogo chimps, is out of this fucking world, and it opens on this alpha male he's aging, and so you meet this alpha, and like here's his right hand man, and here is the hierarchy of power within this chimp colony. But here's this young upstart, and he's coming for the crown. And it studies,
and it's real.
It's 100% real. They give the chimpanzees different names so that you can follow the storylines. There's a rival tribe, and it's all about social hierarchy and politics within a chimpanzee colony, which of course then you look at it and you start to understand where certain human behaviors came from. Beautifully done, really fascinating, and like it scratched that like literally if you took the first episode of Chimpanzee Empire and made it, you could make it a 1-season scripted drama a la Game of Thrones. Ooh. There's that much like relationships and politics and backstabbing and secrets.
Okay.
It's pretty sick.
I want to throw it to 2 this week. One is, you know me, I love trash TV, you guys. And the next season of The Ultimatum just came out on Netflix, but last season it was all heterosexual couples as per usual. This season, they're doing the lesbians. We get a full ultimatum of lesbians. I think the first 4 or 5 episodes are out right now.
What is the ultimatum? I don't know.
Oh my God. So it's couples that are at an ultimatum where they either need to shit or get off the pot.
Yes.
Like one wants to get married, one wants to settle down, and one doesn't. And so they issue them an ultimatum where then they go and have trial separate lives with other partners. And at the end of 6 weeks,
insane. It's an insane premise.
And y'all thought the gays were drama. Lesbians are fucking crazy. And I can say that because I'm half one.
I'm into it.
It is to talk about secession. Yeah. This has a hierarchy of cuckoo-brained, I'm living for it. When we got through with all of the episodes, 6 of us were watching it, and we went, no, that's it. Oh my God. So if you really just want to turn your brain off, do that. My second one is a book called The Mountain Is You by Brianna Weist. It's
2
all
in
about,
a week.
Yeah,
Fuck.
it was a long vacation weekend.
Yeah, okay.
If you're dealing with self-sabotage, if you're in a funk, The Mountain Is You is such a good reader, and you don't have to read it all in one sitting. Just whenever you need it, pick up a page. I highly recommend.
I'm just picking up where you left off last week. Now that it's all out, watch Barry, man. Watch fucking Barry.
I didn't watch the finale. Don't tell me.
This last season, it is all directed by Bill Hader, and he came out to the industry, I guess, to direct, and it is on full display. It is so weird. It is definitely like, I feel like a deconstruction of Barry as a character in this last season, and you get to like really, really see what he like fantasizes about in a really fun and like creative way, and it feels like a director's reel for Bill Hader. So I'm really, really excited for like what he's gonna do next.
Can I add a second one really quick?
Yeah.
You all need to watch For All Mankind on Apple TV.
Oh, that's right. You
Because
did
Hear
say
that
that.
first season finale rocks.
It's just, this is the last thing I'll say because I know we're winding down. It's just that Apple knows the show that it has there because it doesn't have the craziest audience, but it's one of those that they just like keep building on and letting it keep going, because when more and more people come to Apple TV for the Ted Lassos and the Shrinking and Severance, when they find For All Mankind to begin watching, I think it immediately hooks you in, because the first 2 minutes, I mean, the whole premise of the show is the U.S. versus USSR space race, but we lose. And what happens, and it's all how it alters history, it's not slow and sluggish between seasons. It's not like, they have good time skips where things progress, because obviously space stuff moves slow. So it gets there. And there's already 3 full seasons.
Oh, shit.
And the 4th is on the way. So like, it's not like a one-off where you're like, hopefully it has enough of an audience.
Yeah.
Apple's like, we don't care if 8 people watch it. It's going to find its audience, and it keeps building. So
Wow.
It's Ronald D. Moore who did Battlestar Galactica. So it's like,
it's so good.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay,
It's
I do
really,
need to-
really good.
Putting it on the docket.
I'm glad that you have. Okay, I'll watch it. Jack, thank you so much for coming, for sharing your passion. Where can the people find you? And you got anything you want to plug?
At CouRage JD on all social media. That's where I'm at. I play a lot of Fortnite.
Hell yeah.
And now I'm gonna go rush home and
Go to the
I'm gonna go to bed. I'm not going anywhere.
Garrick's in a
I'm
little
gonna see it,
tear.
and then I'm gonna text Zach this video of everything that happens and send it to you.
Please don't do
I'm
that.
so excited
Please
for
don't
this
do that.
movie. I know. I was like, do you have anything to plug? And I'm like, could you plug us?
Yeah, could you plug us?
I'm amped. No.
and invite us to the next F1 race.
Oh, hey.
No, thank you. Such a pleasure, guys. I have told Jack that I don't watch streams often, and then I was like, what's it all about? And I watched Jack, and like 40 minutes later, I was like, oh shit.
I'm sucked in.
Wow, okay.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
just it's so compulsively watchable and enjoyable. Yeah, it's like having like your little buddy on your second screen sometimes. Like you can just keep Jack there.
Thanks for using the word little.
Hey man, from
Coming
one
from
Trying
a
to slim down.
fellow
We're trying to
little.
slim down.
from one short king to another.
Hey, there we go.
I'm at Corny and All Things.
And Kelsey Darragh and all the things.
I'm Garrick Bernard and all the things.
Until next time.
Autobots, roll out.